Come on and tell your story. Come on and tell your story. Come on and tell your story. Motivated every day. Living in victory every day. Living in victory every day. No matter what they say. No matter what they say. Living in victory every day. Living in victory every day. No matter what they say. Living in victory every day.
Nicole Larsen Live, living in victory every day.
Today's guest shares on the need to provide care and support for families facing crisis situations.
You, and I've known you for so many years, you going for them. You know, it's only a
rescue
call.
mission.
You will rescue, you know, and dun-dun-dun-dun, and you're going. But I want to find out about that passion. Where did it come from?
Well, I've thought about that a lot. I think it's a combination of my family upbringing and my faith.
Also, mental health coach Robin Atkins joins us from the USA. From the desk of author June Doyle, music from Ayanna Wallace, and our aha moments make for another impacting show. Nicole Larsen Live, living in victory every day. Stay with us. Live a life of victory and find peace and hope in today's troubled world. Visit us at Holiness Revival Ministries. Call 628-7407 or 622-5826.
Gen Style customizes cards, limitless in expressions. For special occasions, call 1-868-7N-Style. Instagram Gen Style Cards TT, Facebook at Gen Style.
Best Enterprises Limited for all your furniture needs. New, used, or scratch and dent. Call us today at 315-2471 Takarigwa.
15 is a bargain at KWS Supermarket. Yes, get our $15 specials or get 15% off many items in store. KWS Supermarket, Ragu Road, Dabadee.
Christmas time to have the house of divine. Spreading your Christmas cheer. Shop at the retail warehouses here. Shop at the retail warehouse.
Chancatrace El Socorro and Boundary Road, San Juan. And now open the retail warehouse compound, Rushford Street in San Fernando.
Bill and Ruth fell in love with the Benjamin Moore color Dry Sage, but they tried to match it using another brand's paint.
I mean, it's close enough.
Almost identical, really. Yeah, there it is.
Never trust another paint to be a Benjamin Moore color.
Whether it's acid reflux, cataracts, glaucoma, a swollen prostate, diabetes, or weight loss, Customized Health Solutions has been helping Trinidad and Tobago for over 2 decades. So let us help you. Call 627-2640 for your Compass assessment now.
Make every occasion a sparkling celebration with Rosabella alcohol-free wine.
Toast cheers with hourglass rays. Rosabella, live life with Rosabella sparkling drink. Celebrate!
At Belgroves, celebrating life is our commitment with integrity, compassion, and dignity for your loved ones. Belgroves Funeral Home and Crematorium, serving Trinidad and Tobago for over a century.
Vision Headgear Limited for wholesale and retail purchases on toys, Christmas decorations, housewares, artificial plants and flowers, seasonal items, clothing and accessories, and lots more. Hurry down to Vision Headgear Limited or see our Facebook page.
AM Prime on WESN, the only place from 6 to 7:30 a.m. where you can get the most analytical and thorough interviews and regional reports.
The Barbados Labour Party, led by the Prime Minister Mia Amor-Motley, once again able to achieve a clean sweep in yesterday's general election.
I think a lot of people have underestimated the power of Tobago nationalism.
If the government is afraid to say it, I, Martin George, I am saying it this morning on your show, Andy. There will be no carnival before Ash Wednesday.
Grab a cup of coffee and start your day right watching AM Prime with Andy Johnson weekdays from 6 a.m. Only on your content capital, WESN.
Take some time for yourself or spend some time with the family at Sandy Point Village Hotel. Enjoy our various studio and suite apartments, self-contained with their own kitchenettes and Wi-Fi. We also have our famous 100-foot swimming pool and our beachfront restaurant, the Steak and Lobster Grill. And our location in Crown Point puts us near the center of activity from the nylon pool to the local nightlife. Call us and make your reservations at 639-8533, 389-2378, or email us at sandypointvillagehotel@gmail.com.
Your Christmas is safe with us at PCU. Police Credit Union. Police Credit Union. Your Christmas is safe with us at PCU. Police Credit Union. PCU. Police Credit Union.
Get an easy zero-interest Christmas loan at Police Credit Union today. Borrow up to $25,000 with affordable monthly payments. New members, you get up to $10,000. No interest, no installments until January. Apply online at www.policecreditunion.com. Loan subject to credit approval.
This is Nicole Larsen live, living in victory every day. And we have a very special guest joining us. I am so delighted to have Rebecca Ali-Govaya. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. It's a delight to be here.
And for those who may not know who you are affiliated. As a matter of fact, you are the founder of the Elpis Center.
Yes, along with my husband, yes.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Elpis Center just a little bit for those who may not be aware as to what you do, why you do, give us the genesis.
Sure. Well, Elpis Center has been around since 2009, and we do various ministries, but if I have to summarize, I'd say we are working in the areas where women and children need the most amount of support, love, and care. So we do transitional housing for displaced mothers and their children. We do risk avoidance programs for young people so that they could achieve their goals and avoid, unhealthy choices that would take them down a path of vulnerabilities and destruction. And then we do healing for women. So we have a variety of healing programs. We do psychological counseling. We do forgiven and set free for post-abortion healing. We do another one, it's a new one we introduced called Refuge, which is a general grief recovery for stillbirth, miscarriage, infant loss, and in just general loss. Like during COVID, women experienced losses from jobs and their homes and relationships. Mm-hmm. So we've been using that, and soon we'll be introducing a Bible study for sexual abuse healing as well.
Mm-hmm. As you speak, you mentioned women making the wrong choices, going down different directions and so forth, which we all have at some point in time, let's face it. But some of us are not privy to the people to hold us and say, come, I know you make a mistake, let me show you the right direction. But you, and I've known you for so many years, you going for them, it's only a call, you will rescue, and da-da-da-da, and you're going. But I want to find out about that passion. Where did it come from?
Well, I've thought about that a lot. I think it's a combination of my family upbringing and my faith background as well. I believe that our purpose on this earth is not just to live for ourselves, right? And if I think back even to my grandmother, she was a rescuer too. As a matter of fact, she rescued herself when she was about 12 or 13. She was, married off to someone, and she said, no, I'm not, going to accept this, and she left and built the life that she wanted and helped a lot of families after that. So yeah, I think it's a combination of my upbringing and just what God has said to me, and why I'm so concerned about women and children in particular is because I think, and I've learned over the years, that where they are is not just a quote-unquote choice. It's a combination of things that have taken them down a certain path, where the choices that they end up making lead them into some sort of destructive lifestyle. But it's not a quote-unquote choice that they... In other words, it's not like, well, I feel like eating chocolate ice cream today instead of strawberry.
Yeah.
It's not that type of choice. We have women with unimaginable histories, neglect, abandonment, abuse, trauma, that leads them down a path. And then when they get to these major crossroads in their lives where they have to make decisions, the ability to choose the decision that would probably be in their best interest in the future becomes compromised. And so we have to be there to help guide them through.
And so we're going to be talking about women navigating the crisis of choice. Because I'm glad you said that. It's not as if they get up one day and say, you know what, I'm going to go this way. I know it's wrong, but it's okay.
It's not so
It's not so cut and dry. It's not so clear cut.
No.
And so for those of us who may know just a little better, this is our time now to walk alongside. Let's see how we can do. And also walk the talk and talk the walk.
Yeah.
All right. And that's one of the things that I admire about you and your team. It's because when somebody calls you and they say, listen, I need, you go out there and you say, what do you need? How can I help? It could be a crib. It could be a bed.
Yeah.
It could be a place where they need to hide for a few days.
Yep, we've done all of that.
Yeah.
Months sometimes. Some families, we've supported them for as long as 2 years, because transitioning from where you are to where you need to be is a unique journey for everybody. You know, some people might just need a few days. Some people need months. Some people need years.
Yeah.
And so we need to have care and support systems that can really meet people where they are at and move them to where they even want to be. And sometimes, honestly, it's helping them craft the vision of where they need to be. You see, we assume that people would just, you know, somehow a light bulb will just turn on and they'll, oh, yeah, this is where I need to be. No, sometimes that in itself is a journey.
And you journey alongside them. I've seen you do that. Because there are many times you would be with someone and you're trying to, I don't know, you're trying to make sure that they go on the right path. But lo and behold, you realize that they're not. So they're undermining you, as it were. I remember a couple instances where you would have, there was a situation with a husband and wife, and you had they were separated. And so we were trying to make sure that they have, you know, court proceedings, etc. And she was behind our backs, still seeing the abuser. But you didn't give up on her. You just smiled and you said, okay, this is part of the process. Okay, so let's see if we can do it again. She went back with the individual, Rebecca, and you still were alongside her. And this is what we need. We need people not to give up when, for whatever reason, they're not doing what we would expect them to do, because we're not perfect, we're human beings.
And more than that, I think we need an educated society. We need an informed and educated society if we are to help each other. Even when it comes to abuse, the ability to leave is not cut and dry either. And the research shows that it takes multiple attempts before they could actually make that final exit. So there is a need, I think, in general, for us in the Caribbean and in Trinidad to have more understanding of the dynamics and the complex layers that go behind some of the social issues we are seeing. If we understand it, we could respond better and have more success, I think.
Yeah. I want us to talk a little bit about that crisis pregnancy, because this is crucial. And the fact that you offer choice. It's not cut and dry that this is what you need to do. You are saying to them, okay, this is not the way you should go, but guess what? I've got a support mechanism there for you. So we'll be talking about that as we go along.
Sure. Well, you know, again, you know, there's a saying, don't make a decision with long-term consequences based on immediate emotional response or limited data. You know, and in the medical field, you might hear the term informed consent. And, you know, when a woman is in a pregnancy that either maybe just the timing is off, or in general, for some reason, she has not, you know, pre-prepared for it, right? It can and it does raise multiple questions for even the best of us. In the best of circumstances, there are questions. Okay, what now? Because there is this life that I now have to think about. And so the thing is, you know, how do we journey with a woman who is in that place? And the statistics show that, I mean, apart from the hard cases, and when I say hard cases, I'm talking about rape, incest, fetal abnormality, or the mother's life is at risk, which is about 2% overall of pregnancies.
More still to come.
There's so many societal attitudes about life, almost flippant views. Well, you're poor, so why are you having children? Or you're in a certain geographic area, why are you having children?
At Belgroves, celebrating life is our commitment with integrity, compassion, and dignity for your loved ones. Belgroves Funeral Home and Crematorium, serving Trinidad and Tobago for over a century.
Whether it's acid reflux, cataracts, glaucoma, a swollen prostate, diabetes, or weight loss, customized health solutions has been helping Trinidad and Tobago for over 2 decades. So let us help you. Call 627-2640 for your Compass assessment now.
Your Christmas is safe with us at PCU. Police Credit Union. Police Credit Union. Your Christmas is safe with us at PCU. Police Credit Union. Police Credit Union.
Get an easy zero-interest Christmas loan at Police Credit Union today. Borrow up to $25,000 with affordable monthly payments. New members, you get up to $10,000. No interest, no installments until January. Apply online at www.policecreditunion.com. Loan subject to credit approval.
Make a lasting impression and dress for success with professional clothes, shoes, and handbags available at the office. Work in style. Pennywise Plaza Shogunas. Check our Facebook page for what's in store.
Maybe he landed here totally by coincidence. But if by chance he's admiring your fresh coat of Benjamin Moore soft sky blue, well, that's a pretty high compliment. Coming from an expert.
Vision Headgear Limited for wholesale and retail purchases on toys, Christmas decorations, housewares, artificial plants and flowers, seasonal items, clothing and accessories, and lots more. Hurry down to Vision Headgear Limited or see our Facebook page.
FanZone, your reliable, authentic supplier, has just gotten better. You can now visit our website www.fanzonett.com for your authentic wear and collectibles. The only place where you can use both your Visa debit and credit cards. Visit our website fanzonett.com to make your purchase today.
Is it politics? What is it? Is it that nobody cares about sports?
The kind of support that sport used to get in the past is no longer here.
The thing is, taking a knee doesn't mean that that's the only thing you're doing now, Andy.
Right.
Taking a knee along with other stuff.
Samantha, what are you looking forward to when you return home to Trinidad and Tobago after winning the title?
Thank you very much for speaking it into existence.
Is there no pressure on Nicholas Ball?
It makes me more motivated to work hard and to go out there and rep the white and black.
Why are we sending a team to the Winter Olympics?
There are a number of Trinbagonians who are in the diaspora and have grown up in winter sport. It's an opportunity that the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee will not close the door on.
I also believe in the players that we have. Once you can motivate the players, you can get the best out of them.
Scrub City, your #1 choice for medical uniforms, medical accessories, and footwear. Scrub City, 2 locations, San Fernando and Chaguanas, or check our Facebook page. 15 is a bargain at KWS Supermarket. Yes, get our $15 specials or get 15% off many items in store. KWS Supermarket, Rago Road, Dabadee.
Best Enterprises Limited for all your furniture needs. New, used, or scratch and dent. Call us today at 315-2471 Tacarigua.
Live a life of victory and find peace and hope in today's troubled world. Visit us at Holiness Revival Ministries. Call 628-7407 or 622-5826. Just before our break, you were talking about the crisis pregnancy. When a woman finds herself pregnant, what does she do? Where does she go?
Well, she can certainly call the Elpis Center, but there are, other persons that she may want to call on in the first instance. But what the statistics show is that over 95% of the the cases where women find themselves in a situation where they proceed with an abortion is because they say there was no support. Support and family involvement. So it's a combination, not just support from the family, but support in general. I mean, there are women we've been doing this for more than 12 years, but women face so many reasons to not have that baby. They're presented with so many reasons.
Give us some of those reasons.
I'm in school. I don't want to delay my studies.
Yeah.
I just started my career. If I have this baby now, what will it do with my career? It will interrupt my career. My partner doesn't want this baby. 58% of the women who aborted said it was because they felt their partner, they felt that, it was imposed on them. And about 28 or 30% say it's because their partner did not want the baby. So
support is crucial.
Oh, yeah.
That undergirding, knowing that you're not alone.
Crucial.
You're not going through this process by yourself.
No. And the thing is, at least from our experience journeying with women, once they have that baby, they don't even need you anymore.
Yeah.
There is something about that window of time between getting that positive pregnancy test to giving birth that requires, as you put it, undergirding. It requires scaffolding. It requires support. No pregnant woman should be left on her own. Even if you think that she has the best support system around her from the outside looking in, she still needs an encouraging word. She still needs an affirmation. She still needs, congratulations. She still needs journeying with. And that's something I pray for, and I hope that our society could do more of. There are women who even said to us, look, we had the abortion because of the church. We didn't want to embarrass someone, either a parent or a pastor and this is not to cast aspersion on the church at all. I'm just saying these are reasons they have given, right? And the question is, I always ask then, are we really doing enough? And what maybe even from the church's point of view, they need to be asking, well, what can we do better to help?
Here's the thing. I want to pinpoint there. We have heard that depending on the amount of children that you have, if you get pregnant, you're allowed to get rid of this one because I mean, you already have 5 or 6. Right. You already have 6 children. You get pregnant again. What is a joke now? No, that's the sort of, so it's any, mini, miny. Okay, no, this one isn't worth it. So let's get rid of this one.
Yeah, there's so many societal attitudes about life. Almost flippant views. Well, you're poor, so why are you having children? Or you're in a certain geographic area, why are you having children? Or as you said, you have 6, 7, 8, why are you having more? And the question, my thing to persons who would have these views is I understand that knee-jerk reaction, but it requires further examination.
Yes. Yeah.
We have to be willing to examine further the things that we are believing, because the things that come out of our mouth is a reflection of what we believe inside. So then are we saying, how is that different to eugenics in any way? Are we saying then that a poor person doesn't deserve to live and their children don't deserve to live, and so I am dictating to you that child should die? It's the same thing with disability.
Yes.
In the UK, thousands of children are aborted because of Down syndrome, and across the world, right? And that's just one. I mean, again, where do we draw the line? So today it might be Down syndrome, tomorrow it would be what? I just don't like how your parents look. We have to be careful how we draw these parameters around who deserves to live and who does not deserve to live.
And I think now we are actually in an era where we can choose whether we want a boy or a girl, blue eyes, brown eyes. So it's become very clinical.
We're commodifying life, and we have to be very careful about that.
Yeah.
And, everybody needs to re-examine their thoughts and beliefs, because it may not be as extreme as someone saying, let's customize a baby in the womb. But are you in some way, shape, or form commodifying life?
But that's what we're doing. We're customizing children.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing in the womb. We're also choosing, I don't want my figure disrupted, so I'm going to give it to somebody else to have for me.
Right. Right, yeah. Commodification.
Yeah, yeah.
When, and you know, a child, listen, the most natural relationship in the world is mother, father, child.
Yeah.
That triangular relationship. It is above any law. You know, it's above any man-made creation. It's the most natural, organic relationship that there is. And we have to be willing to contend for that and preserve that. You know, the different ways that we want to commodify life will remove a child's best interest. Because children need to connect with their biological family. It's hardwired into their DNA. You know, there's so much that, you know, currently go into it now, but there's so much we could go into on that.
But you know what? And as you've said that, this is one of the reasons why people would say that they're going to abort. Because you know what? I may not know who the child's father is. So why am I bringing this child into the world if he doesn't have a father? You know, so best, and I'm, you know, best we get rid of him. And here's another one. You know, this is what we use as the reason why we should have the child. Listen to this. We say, you don't know if this child is going to be a doctor, a lawyer, he could be a businessman. So have the child. So my thought pattern is, so what if he isn't any of those?
Exactly.
Does that mean that he isn't or she shouldn't be born?
No. Again, you see, we've moved away from the inherent dignity of the human being.
Yeah.
Right? Human beings have value just because they're human beings. Not who their mother is or their father is or isn't.
Yeah.
Or not because of what you think their potential would be, or probable potential. That's not what makes a human being valuable. They're valuable because they're intrinsically human.
That's it.
You know, and you know, for those of us who may have a faith point of view, it's clear that human beings are made in the image and likeness of God.
Yeah.
So we are all image bearers of God, regardless as to circumstances.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's about journeying with people who are in that crisis because, you know, that's that situation. You may not know who the father is, but guess what? You definitely know who the mother is. You know, so how do we, you know, there's someone who said, you know, the answer to a crisis pregnancy is responding to the crisis, not ending the life of the child. And this is what we need to work more towards. How do we help this woman and this father? Because sometimes it's not, you know, it's not just the mom we have to focus on. For every pregnancy, there is a man involved, right? How do we support these people through this journey of bringing this life into the world and being the best possible? Yeah. Even if they aren't the best partners, but how can you still be the best possible parents, you know, to this child? And we need to...
I'm glad you made the point of the father, because I think sometimes they are sidelined.
All the time.
Because the fact is, you know, the mother is carrying the womb, she's carrying the child in her womb, and so therefore he was just maybe the sperm donor. That's how we look at it. So he doesn't have much say. Have you found that even as you counsel, that the men are saying, hey, Anyway, hold that thought.
Sure.
When we come back, we'll continue. This is Nicole Larsen Live, living in victory every day.
More still to come from mental health coach Dr. Robin Atkins, a special song from Ayanna Wallace, and words of inspiration from author June Doyle.
It's an aha moment.
Life is an echo. I can't change the people in my life, but I can change the people I keep in my life. What you send out comes back. What you sow, you reap. What you give, you get. What you see in others exists in you. Radiate and give love, and it will come back to you.
It's an aha moment. Your Christmas is safe with us at PCU. Police Credit Union. Police Credit Union. Your Christmas is safe with us at PCU. Police Credit Union. PCU. Police Credit Union.
Get an easy 0-inch interest Christmas loan at Police Credit Union today. Borrow up to $25,000 with affordable monthly payments. New members, you get up to $10,000. No interest, no installments until January. Apply online at www.policecreditunion.com. Loan subject to credit approval.
Chancatoues El Socorro and Boundary Road, San Juan, and now open the retail warehouse compound, Rushford Street in San Fernando.
If these walls could talk, they'd cry uncle. They didn't plan to become offices or yoga studios. But they've stood by us, even when we got a little stir-crazy. For that, they deserve some thanks. They deserve Benjamin Moore.
Whether it's acid reflux, cataracts, glaucoma, a swollen prostate, diabetes, or weight loss, customized health solutions has been helping Trinidad and Tobago for over 2 decades. So let us help you. Call 627-2640 for your Compass assessment now.
What's the best way to grab the attention of viewers? Please exercise more patience. You have to be kidding me.
Doing what we do best. I'll say at the very least it's a conspiracy of laziness against the people.
Join me, Keaton Shaw.
And me, Sean Michael Small, for Talking Point.
Weekdays from 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
We go in-depth on the trending issues and engage the most controversial newsmakers
as we get them to account to the people for their actions.
You can't go to the government with nothing. You can't go to cabinet with an empty hand, with a wish.
I'm glad that we're having this a sober, mature discussion.
In the present situation, I expect a continuation of the chaos.
Join us for the discussion, Mondays to Fridays,
only on WESN,
the content capital.
Scrub City, your #1 choice for medical uniforms, medical accessories, and footwear. Scrub City, 2 locations, San Fernando and Chaguanas, or check our Facebook page.
Make every occasion a sparkling celebration with Rosabella alcohol-free wine.
Toast cheers with hourglass rays. Rosabella, live life with Rosabella sparkling drink. Celebrate!
At Belgroves, celebrating life is our commitment with integrity, compassion, and dignity for your loved ones. Belgroves Funeral Home and Crematorium, serving Trinidad and Tobago for over a century. Chez Jean Designs in San Fernando provides customized clothing from sassy to corporate, conservative to casual. Email janicecazo@gmail.com or call 793-1668 for consultations.
Jen Style customizes cards, limitless in expressions. For all special occasions, call 1-868-7N-STYLE. Instagram Jen Style Cards TT, Facebook @Jen Style.
Live a life of victory and find peace and hope in today's troubled world. Visit us at Holiness Revival Ministries. Call 628-7407 or 622-5826. Back on track with you, it is Nicole Larsen live, living in victory every day. My guest, of course, it is Govaya, Miss Govaya, Ali Govaya, Rebecca Govaya of the Elpis Center. And just before the break, we were talking about men and being sperm donors, as it were, from the context of they don't have enough say.
Mm-hmm. So there's so many varieties to the situations that we deal with. I mean, the full gamut from zero involvement, denial, I'm not the dad. So of course it means she goes through that pregnancy alone, because it's not until she gives birth can she do a DNA test to establish whether this gentleman is the father or not. So, you know, there's that all the way to the other spectrum where they desperately want to be involved, even against her having an abortion, or really want to be a part of the child's life, and maybe the mom doesn't want it. So there's so many varieties, but from the man's vantage point, in terms of that crisis pregnancy, we personally don't do a lot of direct counseling with the men, but we do bring them in as long as they're willing to journey with her through the pregnancy. Men do want to be involved. There are those obviously that don't, but there are many men who want to be involved. And I think, you know, the whole narrative about privacy of the body and controlling your womb and you're the one carrying the baby could make a man feel insecure. There was one piece of research where, you know, they surveyed both the men and the women after they had abortions, and the woman said, if he had only said, don't do it, I would not have done it, right? About 50%. And the men said, I wanted to tell her not to do it, but I figure she's carrying the baby, so if she says she wants to have the abortion, then I figure I just need to support. So you see, we find ourselves in this conundrum because we're not dialoguing enough about this issue. There's a lot of, you know, there's a saying, perception becomes more amplified than reality. And there isn't enough dialogue around finding common ground, you know, and coming together for the purpose of bringing this child into the world. There's a lot of polarizing that happens.
So in your estimation, is there a time where one should have an abortion? I am talking about a child, maybe 13, 14 years old, who is pregnant. And I know for a fact that you have had these type of calls and what you have done. Because we have also seen, and even recently, I saw this young lady saying, I was supposed to be aborted. My mother tried several times, and look at me now. And she was saying, thank you, God, that
it was unsuccessful.
So we hear about these stories.
Yeah, there are hard cases, and of course there are lots of celebratory stories where attempts were not successful, or even the thought of doing it was not carried through. And you know, Nicole, there will always be these hard cases because sometimes life is stranger than fiction. And when it comes, though, to because having an abortion ultimately is a medical decision. And I think what's missing sufficiently from the dialogue is medical care. What does this pregnant client need? What kind of care does this client need, this patient need, as opposed to just the ideological warfare over choice and age and, you know, gender and all these things, right? Ultimately, we have a patient, we have two patients actually, when you think about it. Whether it's a teenager who's 14 or, you know, someone who's been raped, there are two patients that you have in that room. How do we treat, care for, and ensure that we do no harm to both patients? You know, so if and this is, you know, I raised the issue of informed consent earlier. Informed consent is absolutely critical. There may be a case where, and it's very rare, where medically it's necessary to terminate the pregnancy in order to, you know, for the mother to be able to continue living. But it's rare. But again, it's a medical decision. You know, when it comes to teenagers, and there's one I remember in particular. And what happened with this young lady is that she kept being moved around from shelter to shelter in Trinidad, in government-run shelters, because no shelter would keep her long enough for the duration of the pregnancy. She was about 16. And the advice that she got from every shelter that she went to was have an abortion. So she had been to two or three shelters before coming to us. And her thing was, even as a young person, was, but I don't want an abortion, right? So when she came to us, I mean, we pretty much, that was her last stop. We housed her for the entire time and supported her through that. The thing about it is, again, are we just using narratives and drawing on whatever is in the air and assuming that this is best for the individual without proper consideration, without proper dialogue, without diagnosing properly, without informed consent? And let me tell you, the impact of an abortion on teens' mental health is way more significant from a negative perspective than on an older woman who has an abortion. You know, the rates of drug use, alcohol use and abuse, even addiction, promiscuity levels. And this is, I'm not just saying this based on the research that I've read, I'm saying this based on the lives that I've had to work with.
Yeah.
It is a real thing.
So even the decision that we make as a woman, you know what, I'm pregnant, I don't want this child for whatever reason, it's not as if you're just getting rid of the problem, because you may, quote unquote, get rid of this child, but he or she is part of you. And so there's psychological damage, there's mental, there's a lot, even physical.
There was a writing from a guy, Julius Fogel, he's a OBGYN and psychiatrist, and he was giving a testimony. And he said, listen, I have done thousands of abortions. And I'm, you know, he'll probably continue doing them. But he said, there is no denying that the woman is impacted on a very deep level. A part of her humanity is touched, and she's never the same. And he said, I'm saying this as a psychiatrist, apart from just, you know, his job as an OBGYN where he was carrying out abortions. But he said, as a psychiatrist, I'm telling you, women are touched at a very deep level. And there's studies after studies after studies that even if we strip away extremes and we come close to middle ground, or common ground, I should say, there is agreement that there is a mental health fallout for some women who do in fact carry out abortions. And there are actually factors that you could screen for even before that woman makes that decision to see if she's at higher risk from subsequent mental health issue or not. And that's not happening. Women are not being shown fetal development in that consultation room like they should be. They're not being given an opportunity to see an ultrasound, right? They're not explained, okay, if you make this choice, these are the possible consequences. And on top of that, part of informed consent is giving alternatives. So the discussion about adoption or parenting is not discussed with the patient to the same degree that they discuss or propose abortion. It's presented as a quick fix.
I'm glad that we have had this conversation, and we will continue to have these conversations to educate the public that there is choice, and the choice is life. And if they have an issue, if they need support in any way, you are willing. And I'm saying it, and I'm seeing you shaking your head because you're like, okay, Nicole, just run it. Yeah, let them know wherever you are. Give us some numbers and maybe an email that we can contact you.
So 383-2674, 383-2674, or elpiscenter@gmail.com. That's elpiscentre@gmail.com. Whether you need someone to journey with you through the pregnancy, or you've had an abortion and you need a confidential, safe space where there's zero judgment to just explore your emotions and explore where you're at and explore healing for that experience.
Rebecca, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. And of course, we'll be doing much more of these because I think it's important for us as a nation. Rebecca Ali Govaya of the Elpis Center, bringing hope, bringing encouragement, bringing solace to you, a family, maybe someone who is pregnant. Know that you're not alone. You do not have to journey alone. This is Nicole Larsen Live. We're living in victory every day.
More still to come. A touching song from Ayanna Wallace, and words of motivation from the desk of June Doyle.
It's an aha moment.
Just because you're taking longer than others doesn't mean you're a failure. Keep going. You're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. Failure only happens when you give up.
It's an aha moment.
Live a life of victory and find peace and hope in today's troubled world. Visit us at Holiness Revival Ministries. Call 628-7407 or 622-5826.
Gen Style customizes cards, limitless in expressions. For special occasions, call 1-868-7N-STYLE. Instagram Gen Style Cards TT, Facebook at Gen Style.
Best Enterprises Limited for all your furniture needs. New, used, or scratch and dent. Call us today at 315-2471 Tacarigua.
15 is a bargain at KWS Supermarket. Yes, get our $15 specials or get 15% off many items in store. KWS Supermarket, Ragu Road, Dabadee.
Christmas time to have your house in divine. Spreading your Christmas cheer. Shop at the retail warehouses here. Shop at the retail warehouse.
Chancatrace El Socorro and Boundary Road, San Juan. And now open the retail warehouse compound, Rushford Street in San Fernando.
Vision Headgear Limited for wholesale and retail purchases on toys, Christmas decorations, housewares, artificial plants and flowers, seasonal items, clothing and accessories, and lots more. Hurry down to Vision Headgear Limited or see our Facebook page.
Every day, we communicate through stories. Stories of ourselves, our challenges, our goals, our experiences, and our aspirations. Storytelling is an art that we have mastered. WESN Film Studios comprises a collaborative team of experts with extensive industry experience locally, regionally, and internationally. The ability of your business to successfully communicate with your preferred audience depends on the strength of the stories you tell. Your vision should be communicated in a high-quality, professional, and creative way. From concept to post-production, advertising to film, multi-camera productions, live events, streaming, and virtual conferencing, we are WESN Film Studio. Let your own unique voice be heard and your vision realized. Call us today at 628-5835 for your next production.
Bill and Ruth fell in love with the Benjamin Moore color Dry Sage, but they tried to match it using another brand's paint.
I mean, it's close enough.
Almost identical, really. Yeah, there it is.
Never trust another paint to be a Benjamin Moore color.
Make every occasion a sparkling celebration with Rosabella alcohol-free wine.
Toast cheers with hourglass rays. Rosabella, live life with Rosabella sparkling drink. Celebrate!
At Belgroves, celebrating life is our commitment with integrity, compassion, and dignity for your loved ones. Belgroves Funeral Home and Crematorium, serving Trinidad and Tobago for over a century.
Your Christmas is safe with us at PCU. Police Credit Union. Police Credit Union. Your Christmas is safe with us at PCU. Police Credit Union. PCU. Police Credit Union.
Get an easy 0 interest Christmas loan at Police Credit Union today. Borrow up to $25,000 with affordable monthly payments. New members, you get up to $10,000. No interest, no installments until January. Apply online at www.policecreditunion.com. Loan subject to credit approval.
And now let's hear from today's expert, mental health coach, Dr. Robin Atkins.
So what we know from research is that there's a correlation between any type of reproductive loss and negative mental health outcomes. And depending on which research you pull from across the world, we see sometimes that stillbirth or miscarriage might have higher rates of mental health complications, or abortion has higher rates of mental health complications. But either way, from whatever research we pull, we definitely see at least a 50% increased risk of suicide after a reproductive loss. In addition, we can see increases in substance use and abuse. We can see increases in depression and anxiety. We often hear from mothers that they have difficulty parenting after an abortion, that they sometimes don't feel worthy of their children afterwards, or if they have a loss after an abortion, they'll feel that somehow retribution or karma for their abortion. And women often feel silenced when they have abortion regret or grief from abortion, because the popular commentary that we hear from the abortion industry is that abortion is fine and women are always fine afterwards. Women who do have negative outcomes often feel silenced, like they can't speak openly about those. And there are private abortion recovery groups all over the world with thousands of women in them talking about their regret and grief after their abortion, sometimes as early as the next day, the day after their abortion. Oftentimes we'll see it's about 10 years later when women really start to notice the linear impacts of the abortion on other decisions in their life. For myself personally, I can say abortion deepened my addiction and my reckless behaviors, and it took years to recover from that. There are recovery programs available for those, and I do encourage women who are experiencing any type of reproductive loss or grief that they reach out and find some healing for that. There are programs like Deeper Still or Rachel's Vineyard for abortion, and there's other programs for reproductive loss. And I would love to be a source for women in need of that. So they can always reach out to me via my email, or they can reach out to me at robin@ablog.org. Thank you so much for inviting me on.
And now some motivation and inspiration from the desk of June Doyle.
Give yourself a break. Don't make yourself feel guilty for things you cannot control. Go easy on yourself. Think like Jesus, speak like Jesus, believe that whatever God allows has great potential to become your greatest win. Instead, fix your attention on God. You will be changed from the inside out. Don't allow life to drag you down to its level of immaturity. Make God bring the best out of you, developing you into a well-adjusted, mature adult. It is not what you have in life, but it's who you have in life that matters. Sometimes our life has to be completely shaken up, changed, and dismantled for God to take full reign in our lives. Embrace the lessons and keep hope alive. Not everyone will understand your journey. It's between you and God. This is June Doyle, author and motivational speaker, signing out. Keep hope alive. Let's make the world a better place for you and for me and for everyone.
Thank you, Jesus. Oh. You are stronger than you know. so much stronger than you think. There is nothing you can't do. Once you depend on the King. Oh, just believe. Just believe. Just believe. Step out on faith and just believe. You are the essence of this world. You are the light in this dark place. But you need to know your worth. You see, you've been chosen. You've been graced. Just believe. Out on faith and just believe. Here's what the Word of God says. You're above, you're not beneath. You're the head and not the tail. You're God's friend, you're no stranger. No, you're a son, you're not a slave. So it shouts, give me my mountain, just like Caleb did proclaim. Noah held down to the promise, even with no sight of rain. Just believe. Believe in what God says about you. Just believe. Just believe. Oh, step on faith and just believe. Oh, believe. Just believe. Believe. Just believe. Believe in what just believe. Remove the doubt and just believe. Oh, 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 oh. Hallelujah. Oh, thank you, Father.
We thank all our guests today. Rebecca Aligavaya from the Elpis Center, mental health coach Dr. Robin Atkins, author June Doyle, and artist Ayanna Wallace. So until next time, wishing you a blessed and victorious week from Nicole Larsen Live, living in victory every day.